Do you know someone who constantly argues with others? Ever wonder how much they argue with themselves? Or maybe you have noticed this pattern in yourself: constant internal battles, criticizing yourself, second guessing your choices. It's exhausting, isn't it? But what if I told you there is a way to step out of this endless loop, to stop arguing with yourself and start understanding yourself instead? Hi, my name is Matusz Hanidziar, and the topic of this video is how to stop arguing with yourself and create inner peace. As a hypnotherapist and a coach for the last 7 years, I worked with countless people who struggle with internal conflict. And one of the most effective tools I have found is something called the SEW technique. It's a simple but powerful method that helps you shift from arguing to listening, both in your relationships and within yourself. Let me tell you a personal story. Some time ago, I noticed something very strange. Every time I felt overwhelmed and needed a break, my mind would throw a disturbing thought at me. Something happening to my daughter. It didn't make any sense. I love her more than anything in the world. Why would I have such thoughts? And of course, as soon as the thought appeared, I would start arguing with myself. No, I shouldn't think this. I love her. I want the best for her. And I pushed the thought away. But then it would come back again and again and again. I felt guilty, confused, and frustrated until one day I stopped arguing and started listening. Instead of fighting the thought, I asked myself, what is this thought trying to tell me? And suddenly it became clear it wasn't about my daughter at all, it was about me. My body was sending me a message. I needed a break. I needed a moment alone to reset, to breathe. But instead of recognizing that, my mind was throwing up an alarm to get my attention. So I tried something different. The next time the thought appeared, instead of arguing, I acknowledged it. I took a break, even if it was just for a few minutes. And guess what? The thought stopped appearing. My mind no longer needed to shout at me because I was finally listening. This is exactly what the SEW technique is designed to do. SEW stands for sensation, emotion, want. It's a technique developed by Dr. Julie Colbot, and I've used it with many of my clients to help them navigate conflicts in relationships. But here is the secret: it is just as powerful when used in your relationship with yourself. Here is how it works in 3 simple steps. Step number 1: sensation. Start with the body. Before you get lost in thoughts or emotions, pause and tune into your body. What sensation are you feeling physically? Is it tightness in your chest? A lump in your throat? A clenched jaw? These physical sensations are your body's first response to an experience, and they hold valuable information. Instead of pushing them away, simply notice them. Think of it like dropping a stone into a still pond. The ripples start small, your body feels something before your mind even catches up. By paying attention to these sensations, you interrupt the usual cycle of jumping straight into overthinking or emotional reactions. Step number 2: emotion. Identify what you feel. Once you recognize the sensation, ask yourself, what emotion is tied to this feeling? Is it fear? Is it sadness? Is it anger? Emotions are often layered, and when you slow down, you can see what's really there. This step is crucial because most of the time we react without knowing what is driving us. For example, when you get irritated at someone, it might not be about them at all. It could be exhaustion, loneliness, or even a need for space that you haven't acknowledged, just like this guy. Naming the emotion helps you separate it from the external trigger. It is also important to note that we actually experience only 5 basic emotions: sad, mad, scared, glad, and excited. So if you feel, let's say, betrayal, or you feel, let's say, abandonment, dig deeper to uncover the basic emotion beneath. Betrayal is often a perception, but sadness is a basic emotion. Abandonment is often a perception, but being scared is a basic emotion. Dig deep, go to the basics. Step number 3, want. Understand what you want. Now comes the most powerful part. Ask yourself, what do I want right now? Or what do I not want? Your emotions are signals guiding you toward a deeper need. Maybe the irritation you feel isn't about the person in front of you, it's maybe about needing rest, alone time, or support. Maybe the anxiety in your chest is asking you to slow down and breathe. This step shifts you from reacting automatically to responding intentionally. When you recognize what you need, you can take action to meet that need in a healthy way without arguing with yourself or suppressing how you feel. When you practice SEW, you're training yourself to focus on what is inarguable, your own inner experience. You move away from mental battles and into clarity. And when you apply this to your relationship with yourself, you start to break the cycle of self criticism, overthinking, and unnecessary emotional suffering. Here is how it works. Imagine your mind is like a giant swimming pool filled with countless thoughts. When you are stuck in arguments with yourself or with others, you're splashing around in the big pool of thoughts trying to fight your way out. But thoughts are tricky. They argue back, they multiply, and before you know it, you are drowning in overthinking. The SEW technique helps you shift from the big pool of thoughts to a smaller, calmer pools beneath it. First, you step down into the pools of emotions, what you are feeling right now. Fear, mad, sad. Instead of getting caught up in the story your mind is telling you, you simply name the emotion. And you go even deeper into the smaller pool of sensations. What do you feel in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest? Is it a knot in your stomach? Is it a buzzing in your head? These sensations are your body's way of communicating with you. And finally, you reach the smallest, clearest pool, the pool of wants. Your body, through its sensations, is trying to tell you something. What do you want right now? Do you need rest? Do you need connection? Do you need space? And here is the magic. When you focus on sensations and wants, there is no room for argument. You can argue about the thought, you can debate an emotion, but you can't argue with what your body feels. It is inarguable. And this is why SEW is so powerful. It takes you out of the argument and into direct experience. If you have ever found yourself stuck in endless mental battles, constantly second guessing yourself, or feeling overwhelmed by negative thoughts, SEW can help. Now, if this is resonating with you and you are ready to go deeper, I invite you to book a free clarity call with me. In my coaching and hypnotherapy work, I help people just like you untangle these patterns and create lasting transformation. The link is in the description below. So, how do you start using SEW in your daily life? Let's say you notice a critical thought. I'm such an idiot. Why did I say that? Instead of arguing with the thought or trying to push it away, you pause. You step into the pool of emotions. What are you feeling? Sad, mad, glad? What is it? Name it. And then move to the pool of sensations. Where do you feel it in your body? A tightness in your chest? A sinking feeling in your stomach? Just notice it. No need to change anything. But then, finally, you ask yourself, what do I want right now? Maybe you need reassurance. Maybe you need a moment of self compassion. Maybe you just need to take a deep breath and remind yourself that mistakes are human and it's your way to learn. This simple shift, stepping down from thoughts to emotions, then to sensations, then to wants, changes everything. It turns self criticism into self awareness. It replaces self judgment with self compassion. And over time, something incredible happens. You stop arguing with yourself. the inner conflict simply disappears. Instead of being at war with your mind, you start working with it. Now, if you found this helpful, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and share this video with someone who may benefit from it. I create content like this to help people transform their relationships, both with others, but mostly with themselves. So, what do you think? Have you ever noticed how much you argue with yourself? Do you think that maybe SEW techniques seem like something you could use in your life? Please let me know in the comments below, and I thank you very much for watching.